You're listening to the Small and Supercharged podcast with Ria Freeman, episode 175. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Small and Supercharged podcast. It's a solo with me. If you think, gosh, she sounds a bit different today, I am recovering from a child-based cold, not the other, the bad cold, not COVID, just a cold, because there's so many lovely germs at the moment. So if you think, sounds a little bit husky, is it definitely her? It is. It absolutely is. But the show must go on. And today I want to talk to you about Christmas. And I know you'll be hearing this in very, very, very early October. But for businesses already, they should have been working towards their Christmas stuff. Over the last month, I've been working with various magazines on Christmas content, as in submitting product ideas on behalf of the people that I mentor and working with them to submit them as well. So Christmas for small businesses is very much already been happening for a while. People have been ordering, creating, thinking about their last order dates, thinking about their last postage dates, which might be different if you have got a brand who makes bespoke products. And this has all been going on behind the scenes. But now I'm going to shift my focus a little bit. Well, actually, it's kind of a dual one. If you're yet to do anything for Christmas and you are a small business, I'm going to have some tips. If you're a brand ambassador or an influencer, I'm going to have some tips for you to help the brands that you love. And if you are a consumer, so you're probably a consumer regardless of what the other two you are as well, hopefully I'm going to share some tips that are going to help the businesses that you love to do well this year, but not just do well in terms of, financially make those sales, but to help keep them positive, because it's really hard as we move through to this time of year. It is really hard. So all the things I'm sharing today are a result of feedback, experience, knowledge, observation, all of the things. And I hope it really helps. If you're listening, please do screenshot, please share to stories. Tell me if you've started your Christmas shopping yet. I have actually bought 2 things for Christmas so far. And they're not edible ones. They're likely to make it to Christmas, because I have this awful habit that if I order edible stuff, I have been known to eat it. Particularly, actually last year I bought some Kathy's chocolates, which I will be doing again this year, and I hid them from myself because they were for presents, and that worked quite well. So I'll be doing that. I'll be putting them in a slightly awkward place, and then I just won't be bothered to get them until the right time. But anyway, I digress. I have done a little bit. I need to do a lot more, but it's good to plan ahead. So if you're a brand, you need to be planning ahead. Think about, get your last order dates in, work this, think about your social media content plan, think about how you're going to get people to work with you. Really put that time in now, because although it is October now, and you might be thinking you've got loads of time, you really haven't. And as things start to get busier, you will be grateful for the work you did particularly on social media now. So if there's ever a time to kind of get planning, to get scheduling, to get thinking about how you're going to promote yourself, what you're going to promote and when, now is that moment. It is definitely not too early, but it is also not too late. So don't think all is lost. With print media, they generally work quite a few months in advance. So even if you are too late for some of those, even though I know, thinking about the date I'm recording this, there are still some magazines that are running Christmas features in the next issue or 2, so you may not be too late if you want to go down the traditional media route, but you are definitely not too late for your social media, for your digital marketing. So get a bit of paper out, make a bit of a plan, think about what you need to make that happen. If you're a brand ambassador, or if you are sponsored by a company, now is the time to reach out to them and ask them what their Christmas plans are and how you can help them, because they might be running various different campaigns that you can tap into, you can provide content for, you can promote, you can help them with. If they're planning to do a big Christmas giveaway, ask them the date so you can be valuable in promoting it. Ask them if you can provide any content, any tips, any photographs with a Christmas theme. What are they doing? What can you help them with? This is a time when you as a brand ambassador or you as a sponsored rider can be incredibly valuable, because for people who sell products, for people in retail, this next few months, the last quarter of the year, can make an enormous difference to their entire year. It's where a lot of businesses make a lot of their money for their whole year, and particularly keeps them going in the quieter months at the start of the year too. Keep in mind that in addition to Christmas, we've also got Black Friday coming up, and some businesses do this, some businesses don't. Whether you do or whether you don't is, in the nicest way, no concern of mine. But what I would say is that particularly if you are not doing Black Friday, I would let people know, because you often find, or I've seen over years, this has happened many, many times, that sales tend to dip in the month of November on the run up to Black Friday, because people are waiting for that mega bargain and they don't want to feel like they sort of jumped a couple of weeks early and actually they could have saved 20% or something like that. So if you're not doing it, use that. But there are many other alternatives to Black Friday that people do use very, very effectively to promote different causes or raise money for different things. So again, if you want to do that research now. And from a brand ambassador or a sponsored rider point of view, speak to the companies you work with about whether or not they are doing Black Friday, Cyber Monday, those kind of discounts and giveaways. If not, ask them if they're doing anything else. And if they are, ask them how you can help with that. It might be an awareness drive. It might be something to support other small businesses. It might be something to be more eco-friendly. It might be something to support a charity. There are loads of different things that you can do instead if you want to. I'm not saying you should, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying that you can use the kind of amplification of that time of year to do something else if you wanted to, or ignore it, whatever, you do you. But if you're a brand, make sure you are telling people, particularly if you are not offering enormous discounts, because it is likely to help you, or just keep your customers informed really. Manage their expectations so they don't get cross that actually they would have bought something but now it's out of stock, and if they'd have known. Obviously not everyone sees everything we put out however we put it out, but if we are helping to educate them and helping to keep them informed, it is likely to be better for us. And if you're a brand ambassador or a sponsored rider, do reach out to those brands and ask them for their plans. So not only their Christmas promotional plans, but also if they are doing Black Friday or Cyber Monday or anything like that. If you're a brand ambassador or sponsored rider, you could also reach out to your brands and ask them if they're going to any shows. As we come forward towards, again, the last quarter of the year, we have got events scheduled such as Horse of the Year Show, Your Horse Live, Olympia. There will be other sort of Christmas fairs, Christmas markets and other things like that as well as the big events. Ask them where they are. Ask them if you can promote where they are with your fans and followers. If they are, particularly if they're at a big event and you're going there, ask them if it would be useful for you to maybe do a bit of a social media takeover for them. How about getting some footage, getting some video clips from around the show? How about doing an interview with them on the stand? How about putting together some looks? How about working with them on a competition to get people to their stand? Use the opportunities available to you. This is where you can really stand out from the crowd and really pull ahead by looking at their schedule, looking what they're doing, looking at what they're trying to achieve, and creatively thinking about you, how you can help them with that. Any brand ambassador, sponsored rider, supported rider, whatever relationship should be two-way. Yes, you might get money and you might get products from a brand depending on the agreement that you have, but now is your time to shine. Do the work and go over and above. It will be really appreciated at this time of year. Keep in mind as well, particularly if you are working with smaller businesses, that they often wear many, many different hats. The people behind the brands are not just the ones who deal with the marketing or just the sales or just the this or just the that. They often deal with a lot of things. So if you can help them in some way that reduces their load, that's incredibly valuable too. Really, really important. And if you can get in there now, a bit ahead of the curve, ahead of when things start to get really, really busy, you can have more of an opportunity to make a good plan with them because they have got that little bit of extra sort of brain space and capacity to think about it. And hopefully you can really make a good impact, which is what you want to do. You want to help them. It's a two-way relationship. So have a think about that. Think about how you can be valuable to them. Now, moving forward to the consumer part of you, and there's loads we can do for the brands we love. And essentially, even if you're not a brand ambassador or sponsored rider, if you just really love the brands that you use, ideally if you have nice conversations with them, they engage with you on social, they tick all those boxes, you're going to want them to do well. And actually, if we were thinking about it on a bit of a kind of strategic level, I know a lot of the time as a brand, when I'm working with brands, we look for the way that potential ambassadors support the brands that they love. And it's a really good flag and a really good signal to a brand that you really do like them. So if and when they do come to consider who they might like to use as a brand ambassador, the ones who they keep seeing appearing, talking about the brands, talking about nice things when they have got no kind of financial incentive, really valuable. And also, as a personal brand, if you're recommending products that you genuinely like, that you genuinely think are good and you genuinely think are valuable to your audience, they're going to like that too. So it really is a win-win situation here. And I think at this time of year particularly, we all need to think of ourselves a little bit as influencers. If you buy something you think is awesome, and you think, yeah, this is the perfect gift for, I was going to say Jane again. I always use Jane, but this is a perfect gift for Jane. This is the perfect thing for someone who's got a little girl or a little boy or a dad or a mum or whatever. Share. There's so much noise on social that actually you can break through it by giving genuine recommendations, talking about what you've bought, talking about what you've seen and who that might be nice for, creating gift guides from the brands that you really love, whether or not you are an ambassador. So thinking about how we as end users, as consumers, can support small businesses. Of course, buying from them is an easy one. Don't worry, this isn't all about that. But again, if you can buy from a small business that you love, awesome. That's a lovely way to support them, particularly if then you talk about it on social. If you can go the extra mile. But there's so many amazing brands, amazing small brands in our space, in the equestrian, rural, countryside space, that and obviously canine as well, that make just gorgeous, gorgeous products that will make amazing gifts and also have got a really cool story behind them too. So I know, going back, Kathy, this is a bit of a shout out for you today. I bought various bits and bobs from Kathy's Chocolates last year, and when I was giving them to people and they opened them, I got to tell them a story about it. For one of my very good friends, I bought her some of those hot chocolate on sticks. They're like solid chocolate and you put them into milk and whiz them around and they just make the most amazing hot chocolate. I told her all about that because it was really cool. And other brands I bought from as well, you get to tell that story. I bought the boys' teachers some Emily Cole bits and bobs because she's horsey, but there was also a story behind that, so it kind of added an extra level to it. It was really cool, and I think it's nice to be able to share those stories, not just the products. So if you can buy from them, brilliant. But we're going to move on to different things as well. If you do decide to buy from them, check the dates. When is their last order date? When is their last postage date? Can you get in before then? Keep in mind that most people will wait until they're cruising towards the end of December to do all their mad Christmas shopping. We've all been there. We all do it in parts, let's be honest. But if there's things that you want to buy, particularly from, your friends on Instagram, the people that you follow, the brands that you love, and you can get in early, that's going to help, because not only are you going to feel smug when you've got all your Christmas stuff sorted and it's November and you're like, well, yes, I got it in early this year. It's going to help them because you're getting out when they're hopefully a bit quieter. Well, not hopefully. I want people to be busy all the time, but you know what I mean. When you're not in that mad Christmas rush. So you can feel smug. You're also going to have a reduced kind of stress level connected to Christmas deliveries, because we know that, I'm sure last year there were issues with Christmas deliveries, and who even knows what's going to happen this year, let's be honest. But if you've built a bit more time into your plan, then at least you've got time to do things rather than ordering really late in December and then there being a slight delay and it being a disaster. So if you can get in early, get in early. Check the dates and make sure you fit with them. And if you don't fit with them, let's not lose it at people via their direct messages, okay? If they can help you, they will. The businesses that I have the pleasure of working with, all of them, without exception, bend over backwards to help their customers. So if they're saying that they can't do it, that it won't get there in time, believe them, because they want to make the sale as much as you want to buy the product, but they don't want you to be disappointed. So check those dates. Do it before. If by some reason you don't and you can't, and you think, you know what, I'm going to ask them, but be polite. Be aware that it's actually slightly your fault and you're asking for their help on the situation. If they say that they can't help you because they don't believe it'll arrive in time, be gracious. Thank them for getting back to you. It's not on them. And if that's the case, you might be able to do something like an e-voucher for the product in the new year or something like that. You might have to get a bit creative, but it's not on them. Equally, if they have posted you a parcel and you have got that proof that it's been posted and the tracking or whatever you get depending on what you are getting, and there is an issue with the postage, it's not their fault. If they've posted it and they've done everything that you've asked, it's not their fault. So you losing it at them in a direct message, in an email, the only thing that's going to achieve is make them have an awful day. Because again, you've paid for the product, they've posted the product, they want you to have that product and give it to your friend and all be delighted. They don't think, it would be really funny if they don't get it. That's not going to enter into the head of a small business owner who is legit and trying to run a profitable business they want to grow. So you going mad at somebody in a direct message, in an email, is not good. Take a step back, put yourself in their shoes, because also often the person you're dealing with in that direct message, in that email, is the person who has been up there since 5 a.m. trying to pack everyone's orders and get them out. So just be a bit kinder, take that step back. You can still say, I just wonder if you can help me with it. It's just the manner. Let's just keep a kind of a handle on our attitude via, especially, on the phone as well, let's be honest, but everywhere, and try and go at it with that people are trying to do the best by you. No one's trying to screw you over here. And actually, if a parcel's been lost, it really isn't their issue. As in, it's not their fault. They're not the people that you should be on the case of, But I do understand that, that is the obvious place to go. But let's just kind of manage that attitude a little bit if we can. Another thing is about supporting people on social media. When they put posts up and it's a brand you love, even if you're not planning to buy that product but you really like it and you like what they've done and you think it's fun, comment, like, share, tell your friends. It's helping them get their name and get their message and getting their amazing products out there to more people. And that, just as a numbers game, is going to help them. We need to be a bit better, and I say we, I mean me as well, of when we see something we like on social media, taking that positive action. Because the person that creates that post cannot tell if it's gone well or not if we don't signal in some way, if we don't like, comment, share, react, whatever. And that can be quite demoralising, particularly if they're super, super busy and they're thinking, we're just putting out stuff and it's not set and no one likes it. Make the step to do that. If you're sharing something onto your Facebook page, onto your Facebook profile, onto your newsfeed, and your friends are seeing it, that could well really help them. If you're sharing it up to your Instagram story, again, that could really help them to get in front of more people, and it costs you nothing. The liking, the sharing, the commenting, the telling your friends costs you nothing, and it can make all the difference. You also just don't know who is going to see the stuff that you share. Obviously your friends, but who are they connected to? Could they share it? Could they buy it for somebody? You just don't know where this kind of behaviour, where this nice stuff, where this nice sharing attitude can take you. But it could really make the world of difference to that person, to that brand, to that small business owner. And the last thing I want to share before I love you and leave you for the day is send nice direct messages. If you can send somebody a little pick-me-up and just say, love what you're doing, hope you're okay, hoping that your Christmas prep's going really well, hoping your orders are getting through, love what you're doing. Particularly with Instagram, because I think it's such a great platform for this. If you're watching stories and someone's doing something And you can chip in and say, gosh, you look super busy. That looks awesome. Really love what you've done there. I'm getting that for my friend. Share it. Don't keep it in. These kind of things can really lift people's spirits, can make people realise why they do all the stuff they do and why they put in all the hours that they do. So if you can do that, just spend a few minutes a day doing that, you could genuinely change a day for somebody. You could change the trajectory of their day. You can make them smile and make them feel so much better by just being kind and nice. So that would be my Christmas wish for you. I hope that has helped. If you're a brand, get cracking. Brand ambassador or sponsored rider, start reaching out to your brands. You can start planning your own Christmas content too, let's be fair. But reach out to those brands and see what they're up to so you can help them and be a really valuable member of their team. And if you're a consumer, get cracking now. Earlier is good, and you have still got the ability to share and make a huge difference, even if you are not planning to spend money with the brands you love for whatever reason. You can still be incredibly valuable and support them, which I think is something we should all be doing. 'Tis the season and all that. If you could screenshot and share to stories if you've tuned in, let me know if you've been doing your Christmas shopping. I think it's going to inspire me to crack on a bit. I have been kind of making notes and plotting in my head, but let's get going. Let me know, screenshot, share to stories, tag me, let me know if you have started your Christmas shopping. And if any of these things that you've done, particularly if you're a small business, have any of these things really helped you when people have shared or commented or sent you a direct message? And of course, if you want additional support and you are a small business or an influencer or anyone that wants to promote themselves and their brand better, do check out my Small and Supercharged Mastermind group. Awesome group, amazing people. We've got some cool stuff coming up over the next few months as well to help promote them around Christmas. If you go to riafreemanpr.co.uk, Small and Supercharged Mastermind is along the top. It would be great to have you there. Feel free to DM me, send me an email for more information, and I will do my best to help you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time, and we will catch up really, really soon. Take care.